Doing your best, whether it's an ABCD, you have to put forth your best. That's excellence. You don't have to be perfect, but you have to do your best. And that's the way it was put to me and my parents, because I was not good in science, but they said as long as you are doing your best, you can bring home a C. But if we find out you brought a C, but you're just sitting there doing nothing, yeah. So it's all about putting 100% of yourself into it. It's all about just doing your best. Yeah. Well, my name is Kelly Tovornik. I am a Southern girl. I come from a family of educators. I never wanted to be a teacher, but I love my kids. And I think that is the biggest stepping stone of being a teacher. If you don't love your kids, if you don't love what you're doing, you're not a good teacher. I come from educators. I was not always an educator. I worked out in the real world, so I can look at the kids and go, let me tell you, real world is not as easy as you think. I had a fun life in my 20s. I worked out in California. I worked at Warner Brothers. I met movie stars. I met TV stars. I worked for the senior VP of television production. So I was making good money, but I sat behind a desk, and I didn't want to do that. And here is something different every day. Is it the best every day? No, but I do enjoy it. These days, everybody has to get up and talk. Everybody has to get up and give a speech or a presentation or do something, and I feel this is one of the best ways to teach students how to present themselves, how not to be nervous. And I try to tell them every day, even the best actress in the world on Broadway is nervous. It's how you deal with it. And I love the fact that here I have kids who want to be in the class. It's not as much of a dumping ground here, and I love that. But I love seeing the creativity, and I love getting to know my kids. Whereas when I teach English, it's required and all of that, but this is not a required course, and I just get to know them, and it's so much fun. It's just fun.
My first experience with it was my freshman year, and I was always like a really shy kid. Like, I didn't like talking to people. Someone could not pay me to order my own food, like at a restaurant. And like, I joined theater, and it was like, first of all, people tend to be like a lot more accepting, like in extracurriculars in general, because there's less judgment, I guess, because you're all focused working towards one thing. And then like when you're on stage, you can't be like quiet and not confident, so it's like it helps you build up your confidence to like talk to people and to actually.
So I looked at the kids, I said, okay, what can we do? And they started telling me songs that they liked, so we looked up songs we could get the rights to, and we kind of wrote our own musical. And first period, this class, they have their own section. We included chorus, they've got their own section. Then my fourth period does as well. My theater ones, oh my God, I love my theater ones this semester. After they did their monologues, I was like, yeah, I can do a play with them. So we're gonna do Charlie Brown Christmas. And I went to the chorus teacher and the band director and said, I started something at my other two schools called Night of the Arts. And it's a way for parents to see everything we do in one night instead of coming to a band concert, coming to a chorus concert. So we're going to do Charlie Brown Christmas, and then the band and chorus is going to sing and play and all that. So it's going to be one night where they can see all of the arts perform at the same time.
I think it's a little deeper for me because I've done community theater since I was 6 years old. So I've always my entire life I've kind of been on a stage. It's just kind of a part of me, but I really like theater because you can kind of step into someone else's shoes for a bit. And also, theater has taught me a lot of things. Like, I'm not afraid to talk to people. I'm not, and I think there's some negatives. One, I talk a little too loud because of projecting, but I don't know. It's a way to portray yourself without being scared, because you can, maybe in a normal circumstance, you can't really, because like with day-to-day stuff, you kind of have to be professional in some circumstances, but on stage, you can take bits of yourself into a character, and you can just show it for the world to see, and I really like that.
If I could challenge anyone to do anything, as far as parents in the community, is to come to our shows. We are actually doing the musical for the school. I've got teachers who want to come to it, but the one at night, come back to the shows. see what we can do, because if they see that we're doing good shows, then they will come to others. If I could challenge my kids, I don't really know what to say, because I do challenge them, and they have risen. My kids have risen to the challenge, so I just to have faith in themselves the way I have faith in them. I'm challenging myself to get as many different kinds of people involved. I don't want it just to be artsy kids. I don't want it to be just because we're always seen as the oddballs. I don't want that. I want baseball players. I want football players. I want cheerleaders. I want volleyball players. I want geeks. I want the mechanics kids. I want everybody involved, because when you get different kids together, they see they're really the same and they get along. And I think that's one of the things we're missing these days, is everybody's in their own little boxes. And theater is the one place where you can put everybody in a box and they find out they can get along. To me, it's pushing my students to do shows that they didn't do before. I'm pushing them to be on stage all the time, and we're doing shows. I'm like I said, my theater ones, as soon as I saw them do those monologues, yeah, we're doing a show. I know that when they hear that audience applause, they're going to be hooked, because you can get an A on a paper, but when you hear an audience full of people applaud you, there is nothing like it, and you get very addicted to it, and that means they will move up into the next level, and I will keep growing it and growing it.